Letitia James has hired high-profile attorney Abby Lowell to defend her, and she says she will keep fighting.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side, and the one institution that has stood by our side is the courts. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
That's where my head was at. She said she's being targeted. She calls it the latest act of political retribution. Give me a break, Letitia James. You are the person who ran on calling Donald Trump a con man. You called him a carnival barker. You said you wanted to shine a bright light into every dark corner of his real estate dealings. You ran on targeting a man, which is the antithesis of the justice system, and then tried to prosecute him civilly for something that was a victimless crime that had no precedent for doing that. So give me a break talking about targeted. You ran on targeting.
That's right. What's going on, everybody? Thank you all for joining me today. If you haven't already, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and most importantly, please make sure that you are following me on Telegram at TD Media Group to help circumvent social media censorship and shadow banning. With the introduction out of the way, let's get into today's news. And today we are headed back to New York to speak on who Big Tish, aka the Queen of New York, who will soon be the queen of Rikers Island once the federal indictment comes down on her alleged mortgage fraud. And once again, as I keep saying, I do believe that federal indictment will come down. These things take time and we have to be patient. But in the meantime and in between time, let's let the exposing continue. Big Tish wanted to be famous so bad and wanted to be famous for all the wrong reasons. She wanted to be famous solely for taking down Donald Trump. Obviously, that did not happen. The shoe is now on the other foot. The rabbit has the gun, and her past is coming back to bite her in the behind. What do you mean by that, TD? Well, this is what I mean here. How many of you all knew about this back in 2022? What do we have here? New York Attorney General Letitia James addresses Ibrahim Khan's sex harassment scandal. What do we have here? Let's check this out and see what's going on with Big Tish. Let's look into her past a little bit. A little sex harassment, huh? Okay, let's check it out. Confronted by the Post Wednesday, embattled New York Attorney General Letitia James spoke out for the first time about the sexual harassment scandal engulfing her office. This is what was going on back in 2022. Okay, Big Tish. James denied to a Post reporter that she hid sexual harassment complaints against her chief of staff to win re-election. I'm pretty sure you did, claiming that she was protecting the rights of his accusers. Wait, what? Can we read that one more time? Am I reading that wrong? She hid the sexual harassment complaint to protect the rights of his accuser? Let me read that one more time because that sounded crazy. James denied to a Post reporter that she hid sexual harassment complaints against her chief of staff to win re-election, claiming that she was protecting the rights of his accuser. I think I'm reading that right. Yeah. If I'm reading it wrong, let me know in the comment section, but I think I read that right. That's some really twisted logic to hide a sexual harassment complaint, not to win re-election, but to protect the rights of his accuser. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Big Tish. Let's carry on. And the powerful AG, the Queen of New York, under fire for burying the case despite having led the sexual harassment probe that forced ex-Governor Andrew Cuomo from office last year, insisted that concealing her investigation of longtime aide Ibrahim Khan was by no means tied to her race for a second term in office. These people are so wicked. This is why on no level do I or can I or anyone respect any of that, equality and equity talk, that comes from Democrats, because they don't mean it. They don't mean it. It's just game. Really think about pre-election, all of the stuff about protecting women and yada, yada, yada. And if Trump wins re-election, women are going to perish and they're going to be liquidated and stuff like that. It's they don't mean any of what they're saying, because everything that they say against the Republicans, they're the ones that are actually doing this stuff, man. This is gross and disgusting. Let's check this out here. What does this quote read? We're protecting the rights of individuals, and it's important to understand this was a private investigation, which is separate and apart from the investigation we did into the former governor, which was a governmental investigation and a lawful investigation pursuant to a referral, James told the Post outside her Brooklyn brownstone on Wednesday. She's trying not to seem like a supreme hypocrite. I mean, wait a minute. You led the charge to get Cuomo out of here, but you're covering up this situation with one of your top aides? Oh, no. It's different, because what I did with Cuomo, that was a government investigation, right? And it was a lawful investigation. But this right here is a private investigation. That's why I had to keep it under wraps to protect my man, my top aide, who's in a little bit of trouble concerning this woman. But, I'm really actually protecting the woman, because believe all women. The hypocrisy is on another level with these folks, man. Unbelievable. The Post also asked James why she didn't tell the cops about the allegations against Khan. She didn't even. How are you the AG of New York and you're literally keeping information away from the police surrounding a sexual harassment complaint? Really let that settle in for a moment. When you're considering how evil these people actually are, how nasty that they actually are, how deceitful that they actually are. You cannot take anything these people say seriously at all. At all. Let's take it from the top. The Post also asked James why she didn't tell the cops about the allegations against Khan, which reportedly included inappropriate touching and unwanted kissing. And this looks like this is like this sleaze bag right here. He has that look, doesn't he? Anyways, and I quote, "It was a private investigation, and it's important we protect the privacy of the individual," she said. James's comments mark the first time she's spoken publicly about the scandal. When asked if there was anything she wanted to tell the public about Khan's alleged conduct and the safety of her employees, James said, "We're trying to keep it private." Oh, she was protecting this guy. That's her man, 100 grand, Ibrahim Khan. Like I said, he looks scummy, looks like a sleaze bag. And she was definitely covering up on his behalf, in my opinion. I assume, while pretending to be protecting the victim, right? Or alleged victim, right? Alleged victim. James, a Democrat, refused to debate Republican challenger Michael Henry in the wake of the allegations against Khan. I wouldn't either, which her office has said she learned about on October 2nd. On Tuesday, Henry told the Post that Khan's resignation, first reported by the New York Times, made clear why James spent weeks in hiding. Now, we all know that she probably feared that somehow the sexual harassment scandal she worked so hard to cover up would come to light, he said. It is disgraceful. Veteran Democrat political consultant Hank Shinkoff agreed this week that the scandal involving Khan is very damaging to the attorney general because of the time lag. James didn't debate her opponent before the election, And this could be the reason why. Shinkoff noted, it's important to understand we protect victims. Oh, this sounds like BS. This is Big Tish. She said, it's important to understand we protect victims, we believe victims, and we believe women, and we do a thorough investigation. And that's exactly what we did, James said. She's really trying to spin this like she was protecting the victim when she was really protecting her aide the entire time. That's crazy and disgusting. And it's important you also understand the difference between this private EEO, equal employment opportunity investigation, and a referral from the governor's office, which basically included the recommendation as we issue a public report. James added of the accusers, the individuals were not part of our office. About 30 minutes after the Post published her comments, the AG's office released an official statement from James in which she said, first and foremost, I thank the women who came forward, and I want to assure them that they were heard and that I believe them. No, you don't. You were protecting your own butt to win re-election. James said she treated this matter as aggressively as every other matter that has come before our office, adding, within 24 hours, our office took disciplinary action to put Ibrahim Khan under restrictions. And within 72 hours, we engaged an outside law firm that began an impartial and exhaustive review of the allegations. Mr. Khan resigned while the process was still ongoing. When the process concluded, my office spoke with each individual and informed them that the allegations were substantiated. She said, I am confident in the steps that were taken to swiftly review the allegations and in the integrity of the investigation. James has faced mounting criticisms and calls for an investigation into her handling of Khan's case, with even a veteran Democratic operative, Shinkoff, saying an independent probe is needed. There should be an outside investigation of this case and how it was handled. Otherwise, people will doubt the integrity of the Attorney General, Shinkoff said Tuesday. So this woman is consistently embattled in cover-ups, nonsense, and foolishness. She's consistently embattled in all type of just situations to which she should actually be the one resigning. Let me put it on her real quick. This woman, this face right here, she should have resigned years ago. Years ago. She's constantly in some mess, constantly in hot water. And at that time, we're talking about the Biden era and Biden's DOJ. So she's going to be protected, right? She's always going to be protected. But now those days are over and the chickens are coming home to roost. All lies will be exposed and everything that's done in the dark is now coming to the light. So this is what she had going on back in 2022. And trust me when I say there's more. There's more to this. And I'll definitely be reporting on it very, very shortly. So please make sure you're subscribed. Hit the like button on your way out. Share this video on your social media platforms. And also do not forget, most importantly, to follow me on Telegram at TD Media Group. You will never miss a notification if you are following me on Telegram. The link to my Telegram is in the description box below and pinned in the comment section as well. Thank you all for your time, and until the next video, peace and have a great afternoon.